Real quick, I'm not going to be on here long. Just wanted to pop in here and encourage someone and speak to someone because somebody I believe really needs to hear this today. Okay. And as I was sitting here in my office cleaning up, I try to come in here on Saturdays because I get time, unbothered time. And I was sitting here and I'm thinking about many conversations that I've had with small business owners, many conversations that we've had in our free Facebook group. And I said, you know what? Today we're going to talk about it. And what I've heard time and time again, for those that are trying to build their government contracting business or their business in general, right? This is a very commonly stated thing, which is if I didn't have my job or if I quit my job, I would have more time to work on my business. If I didn't have to go to work, I would have more time to focus on building my business. If I didn't have to clock in or if I didn't have to work, whatever, it would just be if this happened, then I would have more time to work on my business. And I'm here to tell you that of the people that I've spoken to over years of working with entrepreneurs and being a small business owner myself, 80% of the people that say that is not the case. There are some people who are at the point where they've grown their business to the point where, they really do have to let go of their job in order to continue to grow it. But don't quit your job to get started. Okay. You start where you are or you stay where you are. And I'm just going to dive right in because this is just off the top, just conversation, going to be on the soapbox for a minute, but I think it's going to help you. You start where you are or you stay where you are. The ones that are typically saying that are people who have not even really started anything yet. And the truth of the matter is your job, your 9 to 5, it's probably a blessing. Let me tell you why. Your 9 to 5 is probably a blessing. The fact that you do not have a whole lot of money to do all the things you think you need to do right now is probably a blessing. And it's all about perspective. Okay. So I'm just here to offer you a different perspective. Sometimes you being resource constrained, like not having it, is the biggest blessing that you need. You know why? Because when you don't have the resources, you don't have the help, you don't have those things, what happens is it's going to either force you to figure it out or to look for other possibilities in other places. If you had the money to do everything you wanted to do right now, I'm talking to you, those of you that are starting up, okay, getting started. If you had the money to do everything you needed to do right now, you would probably mess yourself up because you would buy things you don't need. You would pay for services that you could probably do yourself. You would buy your way out of problem solving. You would miss the lessons that come with this entrepreneurial journey. There are things that only can be discovered. Not everything can even be taught to you or told to you. Some things will be discovered, but you miss out. You don't want no discovery. You just wanted to come and be well. And the truth of the matter is you cheat yourself when you do that. Okay, so stop complaining about what you don't have. All right, and let's talk about this job. To my startups, to the ones that are just getting started in business and you feel like your job is a burden. First of all, your job is a paid internship. Let's just be clear. You need to learn everything you can about how your company works, how your department works, how your manager does what they do, how your supervisor does what she does. If you're the supervisor, you need to volunteer to go to conferences, do more professional development. You need to volunteer to be on boards. You need to be there when it opens, when it closes, when the doors are open. Like you need to be there learning on somebody else's dime. When we started our first business, and I'm talking, this was 2002-ish, okay? First business, 2002-ish, okay? I'm 19 years old. when we first started with the idea of having a construction site cleaning company. I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't have a college degree. I had twins in high school. Okay. So I didn't have a whole lot. I didn't have money, didn't have a degree. I didn't have know-how. I didn't have Google. Okay. I didn't have AI. I didn't have any of these things that you have right now. So I had to figure out a lot of things. When we first started the business, it was very clear that every single job that I had, I was going to put myself in a position to learn so that I can take these lessons, package them up, and use them for my own venture. Okay. I spent time working as a financial sales assistant for Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, which was a financial firm. I think they ended up getting bought out. But anyway, I was working for Morgan Stanley Dean Witter at the time. And I remember I applied for a job I did not qualify for because I was just like, they can only tell me yes or no. Okay. But anyway, I ended up working at this financial firm and I worked as a sales assistant. I worked as a sales assistant to several brokers. I even took my Series 7 test, y'all, at like 21. I think, no, I was about 23 or so when I took my Series 7 test. I thought I was going to be a financial advisor. But anyhow, while I was working there, I didn't know anything. Okay, first of all, I wasn't even good at math. I got the job because I was temping. And while being a temp, I kept looking at what everybody else was doing. And I became really, really good at opening the accounts, talking with the customers, processing the paperwork. I got good at tracking the stocks and tracking the buys and the sells and being an asset to my broker, right? Because anywhere I am, what I'm going to be is indispensable. Let's just get that. I'm going to be, you will feel my absence. Okay. That is the kind of work ethic I've always had. Okay. So anyhow, I'm working and I am working as a sales assistant, and I had to ask a lot of questions of other sales assistants. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do we do this? Because I didn't know anything. But what I decided to do, because I've always been this way as well, I said, what I'm going to do is get a binder. And I'm going to get alphabetical tabs A through Z. And every time they teach me how to do something, I'm going to print out a sample. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to write notes on it. I'm going to write the things I need to look out for. And I'm going to put it in this binder by alphabetical order. Okay, so A is for accounts. Boom. What else was it? D, I had how to handle death certificates and did it, whatever. It was just, I put my stuff together, okay, in a binder, similar to the ones you see on the shelf back here. And I created my own Bible because I didn't want to ask questions anymore. I did things like created a drawer with files 1 through 31, right? Because every day, every folder stood for a day of the week. And so when I came in on the 5th, boom, I opened up the drawer with the 5 and I took the stuff out of the 5th because I was like, oh, okay, this is the thing. And on the 5th, when something was coming up on the 25th that I needed to remember, on the 5th, I would make note of it. I would put it in the drawer with the 25, in the folder with the 25. So I couldn't forget. I was creating my own systems, but I was at work, y'all. And these things ended up working for me. So when it was time to get started in my own business and have my own office and run my own stuff, all of these skills came in handy. You understand what I'm saying? So I say all that to say some of you are complaining about what is in place to bless you. It can be a blessing if you let it. It really could. Now, some, you might be in toxic environments, but even that, God, listen, again, I'm a woman of faith. I do believe that all things, hard things, bad things, good things, crazy things, all things work together for the good to those who love him and are the called according to his purpose. Like, I believe it all works together for my good. And so nothing is wasted. It all works together. Okay. Even the difficulty, even the resource constraint, because there are some things, even in my business at this stage, I'm like, oh God, if I just had this, if I just had this, and if I did, and some stuff, it's like, for real, if I just had that, like, I really need to get this. But there are some things it's like, no, you're here for a reason because there's something you need to learn here that you would otherwise buy your way out of. And that's not what we're going to do here. One thing about me and doing business God's way, because that's a part of what I do, I understand that God will never allow me to have what my character can't maintain. Okay. So there are life lessons, there are principles, there are things that I have to learn and that I'm willing to learn. And that if I'm going to do it God's way, He's going to ensure that I learn. Okay. And so you can't fight every difficult part of trying to be a business owner just because you think you could do better if you had more time. Most of you need to keep your job. Keep your daggone job. Let your job fund your vision. Let your job be your paid internship. Okay. Let your job pay for your professional development. Let your job take care of you. And then with the time that you do have, so let's get to that part because it's like, okay, if I didn't have this job, I could spend more time on my business. I could spend more time on my business. You don't spend time on your business now with the time you do have. So you do have a job, but you come home and you scroll for like 3 hours. What if it's set up like this right now for you because you need to learn how to utilize best the time that you do have? You need to be more intentional about what you do and don't do, because the truth is a lot of y'all, if you had more time, you would just be more distracted. If you had more time, you would be more confused, you would be more all over the place, you would be more frustrated. That's the truth. So with your resource constraint, which is minimal time, what if you decided with every free moment I get, I'm going to do these 3 things? What if you started setting process goals, right? I'm going to complete these 5 things and make them check offable with the time that you have. What if you, on my lunch break, when I was working, you know what I was doing on my lunch? I didn't take lunch. I went in the bathroom, I went downstairs, I went in my car, and I made phone calls. I joined webinars. I was teaching myself. I was learning. I was connecting with people. I was trying to meet with people for 20 minutes. Do you understand what I mean? So look at where you are and really think about it. If you didn't have that job, you'd be worried about how you eat. And here's the thing, if your natural needs are not met, it's going to be real hard to focus on building this business. That's like principle number 1 of entrepreneurship. You got to meet your immediate needs first, because that's what frees your mind. It's hard to try to think about breathing and breathe and whilst my holding your neck. Like that's what it feel out here. Like out here when you don't have. Do you understand? So I just want to encourage you. That's what I'm here to do. Just want to be an encouragement to you. Your job is a paid internship. Use it. What else can you get out of it? Start asking yourself questions like, how can I use this to my advantage? I'm going to go. Well, wait, hold on a second. Sorry. um, yeah. So I hope that is helpful to you guys. I hope that is helpful. Okay. Yeah, I hope that is helpful to you guys. That's really it. That I just wanted to tell you, don't quit your 9 to 5, because you may be You may be missing out on a big opportunity. And that opportunity is an opportunity for you to become the problem solver you need to be to build a sustainable business. That opportunity is you might be missing out on a training on being more intentional with your time and your resources and your things. You may be missing out on an opportunity to learn how to be consistent and persistent in your efforts, so that you can see results. You may be missing out on an opportunity to meet someone who can help your next level, like someone that is assigned to help you on your way to your next level. Like you could be missing more without it than you think you are with it. Maybe. Again, that's not the case for everybody. And I've been out here in these small business entrepreneurial streets for a long time. I have been self-employed for most of my life, the majority of it. It's not easy. It is not easy. It has highs, it has lows, and especially for those that are starting up. It's so easy to think that the grass is greener on the other side. Now, for those that are building and growing, there may be some things, some decisions that you do have to make, and you have to be willing to walk by faith, right, and step out. In my book, Water Walker, I actually talk about how I left my 9 to 5. And I talk about what happened and how it was a smooth transition. I talked about where I was in my business at the time, but I had put in mad work building the business. And even when I exited, I had the Lord had given me like a dope plan, and it was just amazing. And so that's in my book, Water Walker, How to Embrace Uncertainty and Do the Seemingly Impossible. You can read about that, like how I left my 9 to 5. But again, the majority of the people that I've been speaking to lately, keep your job. Keep your job and figure out how to use that job to your advantage. Figure out how to best use your time. Okay. That's all I have today. I mean, that's all I have right now. So we have, let me mention this. So in our 3 Ways in 5 Days masterclass, so we have a masterclass. We have been doing these trainings regularly, but we have a masterclass that's on demand now. It's 5 powerful lessons. One of the very first lesson is about getting you organized, because most are suffering, especially those doing business with the government, are suffering from just overwhelm. It's just a lot. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of passwords. It's a lot of websites. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of information. It's just a lot of things. And so my very first module, my very first lesson in that like 5-day on-demand training is all about you getting organized, and that's so that you can succeed. Got to get organized. And I teach you step by step how to use a free online tool to do that. Day 2, we go through micro purchases, and I talk to you all about how to position yourself for micro purchases. Okay. Those are purchases $10,000 and under. That's day 2. Day 3, we go into DIBBS. I talk about whether or not it's for you or not. My cousin just walked in the room. Hold on. And then day 4, no, come in. Day 4, we do leverage, power of leverage. Day 5, we do, oh, my cousin just walked in. I lost my thought. No, it's okay. You good. Day 5, what do we do? Day 5. Day 5, we put it all together and create the strategy. So that's what's happening. Okay. I got to go for real. I told y'all I was only going to be on here for a second. I am off, and goodbye. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The link and all the stuff is going to be like in the bottom of this video. Okay. I will see you guys soon. See ya. I'm out. Was that awesome or what? I told you you were in for a treat. So I need you to do a couple things for me. First, share your greatest takeaway in the comments below. Second, hit that like button, okay? And then lastly, check out our description box. There are goodies in there for you. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.